Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge, combining Spider-Man and the X-Men. Not a bad idea for a video game. Hell, not a bad idea for anything. I'd watch the movie as well. I mean, it's not a bad crossover idea, but I have a lot of great superhero crossover ideas myself. I mean, picture this. Black Panther from the new Avengers movies meets Earthworm Jim. And it's like a buddy cop, kind of like a Lethal Weapon type movie, where it's like an older Black Panther, where he's getting up there and he's married and he's kind of cynical already, and he's about to retire. But Earthworm Jim, he's like this young Australian hothead that's like just lost his wife. Well, actually, now that I describe it, it's basically the plot of Lethal Weapon, just replacing Danny Glover and Mel Gibson with Earthworm Jim and Black Panther. I might run into a couple of legal problems there. I don't know. I'll have to speak with my lawyer if I ever get a lawyer. If any of you are a lawyer right now, if you could tell me if what I'm describing right now would be a go, that'd be great, because I already have investors lined up. I don't want to name drop. Let's just say a Mr. G. Lucas. No, you know what? That's too obvious. Let's just say a Mr. George L. The game, though, it's pretty damn nice in some parts. In other parts, it's not. One great thing is you can play as Spider-Man and all the cool X-Men, like Gambit, Wolverine, the guy who shoots the things out of his eyes, and of course the hot white-haired chick. I forget her name. Storm, right? She's actually the worst in this game. Well, not her herself, but her level. Like, each individual superhero has their own level because they all have special powers. And in her level, she's basically swimming. It's like that swimming level in Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, in the ruins. And she basically runs out of air if she's underwater for too long. But it's just horrible because her character model is really big on the screen, and so is pretty much everything else. And you can't see what's going on when there's explosions or when there's something else near you because it's covering your character model. So on top of the fact that everything will hit her because she's so big, you can't see what's happening and you're running out of air. This level is like a clusterfuck underwater. The Wolverine level is fun because you play as Wolverine. You can beat up enemies with the claws or without the claws. You can punch through walls and of course destroy the enemies. But the actual level looks ridiculous. It looks like Krusty's Funhouse. Why is Wolverine running around like the Mad Hatter's warehouse? The Gambit level is pretty cool. He's being chased by this big ball and he has the platform, and also the Spider-Man levels are really good because you play as Spider-Man. You can crawl on walls, you can shoot your web, and you can swing. Well, you can't really swing. In this game, Spider-Man doesn't so much swing like repeatedly like Spider-Man would. He really only swings once and he stops. So the Spider-Man web when he swings isn't so much that of Spider-Man. It's more like Indiana Jones's whip or Nathan Drake's whip. You just like grab onto one thing and you move from one platform to the next, but you don't continuously swing. Not that you'd need to, because the levels in this game are more designed to be mazes than open, large environments. The game's difficulty is insane, though. It's like super hard, and not just the level where you play a Storm. That level is horrible and hard. Pretty much every level, minus the first introductory Spider-Man level, is hard. Even the second Spider-Man level, once you actually get into the main gameplay portions, that one is also really hard. Mostly because the enemies are like just ridiculously hard, and the controls aren't the best. I mean, you have all the cool superhero superpowers you would expect from all these superheroes, but at the same time, they're a little stiff, all of them. Like, I'll give you the perfect example. Spider-Man crawls on walls, but if there's like a 90-degree angle, like he's crawling up, but then he has to crawl to the left or to the right, he can't do that. He can't just move onto the roof from the wall. He has to jump down and manually swing off the roof. It's just little things like that that Spider-Man can easily do in the comic books and the movies that he can't do in this game that makes it really gimped. Overall, I love the variety in this game, but there's also a lot of things I mentioned that aren't very lovable. It gets an official Stan Birdman rating of a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.
You